Caste versus class, what's the difference? Caste and class are two words that often come up when we talk about society, inequality, and social structure. But many people get confused between the two or think they mean the same thing. While both caste and class are systems that divide people into groups and affect their lives in important ways, they are actually quite different in how they work, how they are passed on, and how easy or hard it is to change your position in society. This article explains the differences between caste and class in simple, everyday language with examples that you can relate to. Let us begin by understanding what caste means. Caste is a social system that divides people into groups based on birth. In many parts of the world, especially in South Asia, caste has been a major part of life for hundreds of years. The caste you are born into usually decides many things about your life, like what job you can do, who you can marry, where you can live, and even how people treat you. Caste is not something you choose. You are born into it, and it stays with you for life, whether you like it or not. For example, in traditional Indian society, there were 4 main castes or varnas, with the Brahmins at the top as priests and teachers, and the Shudras at the bottom doing physical labor. Outside of this system were the Dalits, who faced extreme discrimination. Even though many countries have made caste discrimination illegal, the social impact of caste is still strong in many places. Class, on the other hand, is based more on money, education, job, and lifestyle. Unlike caste, your social class can change over time. For example, if someone is born in a poor family but works hard, gets a good education, and becomes wealthy, they can move from a lower class to a middle or even upper class. Class is more flexible than caste. It is not fixed at birth, and people can go up or down the class ladder depending on their life choices and circumstances. In most modern societies, class is divided into groups like lower class, middle class, and upper class. These groups are based on income, education, the kind of work people do, and how much power or respect they have in society. Now let us talk about how caste and class affect people's lives. Both systems create inequality, but they do it in different ways. In a caste system, people are often treated unfairly simply because of the group they were born into. Even if they are smart, hardworking, and kind, they might be denied opportunities just because of their caste. This is deeply unfair because it does not allow people to grow or improve their lives based on their abilities. In many cases, people from lower castes face discrimination in schools, jobs, housing, and even in temples or public places. Even today, stories come out about how some people are not allowed to eat or drink from the same place as others because of their caste. In a class system, inequality is more about access to resources. People from richer classes have better schools, better healthcare, more connections, and more chances to succeed. This creates a cycle where rich people stay rich, and poor people find it hard to move up. However, class is not totally closed. A person from a poor background can become successful through education, talent, or luck. At the same time, a rich person can lose all their wealth and move down the class ladder. So class allows for some movement, which sociologists call social mobility. In contrast, caste systems have very limited or no social mobility. Another big difference is how caste and class are seen by society. Caste is often tied to religion, tradition, and cultural beliefs. People are taught from a young age that caste is a natural or divine order. This makes it very hard to challenge or change, even when it is clearly unfair. Class, on the other hand, is more about economics and is often seen as something people can work to change. In many societies, success stories of poor people becoming rich are celebrated, even though it is not easy for most people to do. Marriage is another area where caste and class show their differences. In caste-based societies, people are expected to marry within their caste. Marrying outside your caste can lead to social rejection or even violence in extreme cases. In class-based societies, people often marry someone from the same or similar class, but this is more about lifestyle and comfort than strict rules. Interclass marriages are more accepted and do not usually face the same level of resistance as intercaste marriages. Even politics is affected by caste and class. In caste-based societies, politicians may try to win votes by appealing to certain castes or promising benefits to caste groups. In class-based societies, politics often revolves around economic issues like taxes, wages, and social services. But even in modern democracies, caste can play a strong role in voting behavior, candidate selection, and political campaigning, especially in places where caste identity is still strong. It is important to note that caste and class can also overlap. A person from a low caste may also be poor, while a person from a high caste may also be rich. But this is not always the case. Some people from lower castes have become successful and wealthy, and some people from higher castes may be struggling. However, the caste system can still create hidden barriers that make it harder for lower caste individuals to succeed, even if they have the same skills and qualifications as others. This shows how deep and long-lasting the effects of caste can be. In the end, both caste and class are systems that divide people and create inequality, but they do it in different ways. Caste is rigid, based on birth, and closely linked to tradition and religion. It often limits people's freedom and opportunities for life. Class is more fluid, based on money, education, and lifestyle. It allows for some movement and change, although it can still be very unfair. Understanding the difference between caste and class helps us see how societies work and why some people have more chances than others. It also helps us think about what needs to change to create a more fair and equal world. If you found this video helpful, educational, or interesting, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that makes complex ideas simple and easy to understand. Thank you for watching, and keep exploring the world of sociology with us.